Imagine you have $100, an investing app on your phone, and a question that feels bigger than the screen. What actually happens when I buy my first stock? Not the hype version. Not the internet version where everyone is either getting rich overnight or warning you that everything is a trap. The simple version. A stock is a tiny piece of ownership in a company. That is the core idea. If a company is divided into millions or even billions of ownership pieces, each piece is called a share. When you buy one share, you are not just buying a ticker symbol that moves up and down. You are buying a small claim on that business. If you buy a share of a public company, you become a shareholder. That does not mean you can walk into headquarters and make decisions, but it does mean you own a very small part of the company's future. If the company grows, earns more money, becomes more valuable, and investors become more confident, your share may become more valuable too. If the company struggles, loses money, faces competition, or investors lose confidence, your share may fall. So your first stock investment starts with a trade-off. You accept uncertainty today for the possibility of growth tomorrow. Now, make it concrete. Picture a small bakery called Red Door Bread. At first, the founder owns the whole business. She buys flour, hires bakers, rents a storefront, and keeps whatever profit remains after expenses. Then the bakery becomes popular. Lines form every morning. She wants more locations, a bigger kitchen, and delivery to grocery stores. But expansion costs money. She could borrow from a bank, find private investors, or if the company becomes large enough and meets strict requirements, sell ownership shares to the public through the stock market. Once a company is public, ordinary investors can buy and sell its shares. That is where you come in. When you open a brokerage account and place an order, you are usually not buying directly from the company. You are buying from another investor who already owns shares and is willing to sell. The stock market is the organized system that helps buyers and sellers find each other. Think of it like a giant auction during market hours. Some people want to buy, some want to sell. The price changes based on supply, demand, expectations, news, fear, greed, patience, and thousands of decisions happening at once. If more investors want to buy than sell, the price tends to rise. If more want to sell than buy, the price tends to fall. But here is the beginner mistake. Assuming the stock price is the same thing as the company, they are connected but not identical. A company is real. Employees, products, customers, debts, cash, patents, stores, software, factories, decisions. A stock price is what the market is willing to pay for a piece of that company right now. Sometimes the market gets excited and pays a high price for future potential. Sometimes it gets scared and sells even strong companies at lower prices. In the short term, prices can move for emotional reasons. Over the long term, business results usually matter more. So before buying your first stock, ask 2 questions. First, what business am I buying? Second, what price am I paying for it? A wonderful company can still be a risky investment if you pay far too much. A boring company can be strong if it makes steady profits and is priced reasonably. Investing is not just choosing good companies. It is choosing ownership at a price that fits your goals, risk tolerance, and time horizon. Now, how does the market function behind the scenes? You place an order through a broker. The broker routes it into the market. Your order meets other orders. If a seller accepts your price, the trade is executed. Your account shows the shares, and the seller receives cash. Beginners usually need to understand 2 order types. A market order says, buy or sell now at the best available price. It is fast, but the exact price may differ from what you saw a moment ago. A limit order says, buy or sell only at this price or better. It gives more control, but the trade may not happen if the market never reaches your price. For a first investment, control matters because you should understand what you are agreeing to before you click. Once you own a stock, you can make money in 2 main ways. The first is capital appreciation. The share price rises and your ownership becomes worth more. If you buy at $20 and later sell at $30, the $10 difference is your gain before taxes and fees. The second is dividends. Some companies distribute part of their profits to shareholders in cash. Not all companies pay dividends. Younger or faster growing companies may reinvest profits. Mature companies may return cash more regularly. But stocks can also lose money. If the price falls and you sell, you lock in a loss. If the business permanently declines, the stock may never recover. If a company fails, shareholders are near the back of the line after creditors. That is why beginners hear the word diversification so often. Diversification means not putting all your money into one company, one industry, or one idea. Instead of betting everything on Red Door Bread, you might own small pieces of many companies, so one bad result does not destroy your plan. This is why many beginners start with funds, like index funds or exchange-traded funds, rather than individual stocks. A fund can hold many stocks at once. You still own stock exposure, but your risk is spread across a basket of companies. Buying one individual stock can be educational. Building a portfolio usually requires broader thinking. Now compare the stock market with private equity. Both involve ownership in businesses. That is the similarity. The difference is access, liquidity, control, and structure. Public stocks are ownership in companies that trade on public exchanges. They are generally available to everyday investors through brokerage accounts. Prices are visible. You can often buy or sell quickly during market hours. Information is widely available because public companies must disclose financial results and major developments. Private equity is ownership in companies that are not publicly traded, or investments that take public companies private. These deals usually involve private funds, institutions, wealthy investors, or specialized firms. They are less accessible to ordinary beginners, harder to sell, harder to value, and often require long holding periods. If the stock market feels like a public marketplace, private equity feels more like a locked conference room where large investors negotiate directly. In public stocks, you might buy 10 shares with a few $100s. You have little control over company decisions, but more flexibility. In private equity, investors may put in large sums and wait years. The goal is often to improve, restructure, grow, or reposition a company, then sell it later at a higher value. Private equity investors may have more influence over strategy, management, financing, and operations. So public stock investing is usually more liquid, more transparent, and more accessible. Private equity is usually less liquid, less transparent, and more exclusive, but it may offer greater control in different types of returns. For a beginner, the public stock market is usually the more practical starting point, not because it is easy or safe, but because the tools, information, and entry amounts are more accessible. But accessibility can create overconfidence. The same phone that lets you buy a stock in seconds can tempt you to trade too often, chase headlines, follow strangers, or confuse movement with progress. A stock moving up today does not prove it is a good investment. A stock moving down today does not prove it is bad. The question is whether your decision is connected to a clear reason. So build a simple first investment checklist. Know what the company does. If you cannot explain how it makes money in one sentence, pause. Know why you want to own it. Growth, stability, dividends, learning. If your only reason is that the price is rising, be careful. Know your time horizon. Money you need soon does not belong in a risky stock. Know your position size. Your first investment does not need to be dramatic. Small amounts can teach real lessons without putting your financial life at risk.